Mongoose Jake here again. This time I've got my Easy8 Sherman on the Malinovka map. And the title screen's a little bit of foreshadowing there. It is a top tier match in that it is a split tier. It's one of the 2-tier battles now where you've got 5 top tier and 10 lower tier. But there are no tier 4s, there are no tier 7s. It's just 5s and 6s going at it here. And Easy8 Sherman has been featured before with a pretty epic battle, and hopefully this one can kind of live up to that tradition. I immediately take off, seeing as there's no top tier heavies on either side. I take off towards the hill. And I am throwing some blind shots across because I don't care about my hit rate, and you never know when one of those could possibly land a shot over there. And I actually have hit a number of blind shots, so to me a few percentage rates lowered on my hit percentage is fine. I'll take that any day for a free hit once in a while. But again, I mentioned I'm going to the top of the hill because there are no top tier heavies on either team. So with the gun depression that the E8 Sherman has, that will actually prove to be a very good spot to be in, because while I might not be a heavy, I am one of the top tier tanks. I do have good gun depression, a decently bouncy turret, and while the front armor's not awesome, it's going to be fine compared to other tier 6 mediums or tier 5 heavies. And a tier 5 heavy is a fine match for me. But on the way up, I noticed T-34 all the way across who's spotted, and I'm going to take a couple of shots of opportunity at him. First one lands, the second one goes flying way high into the left. Accidentally bump into my teammate in the M4 Sherman there. No big deal, but I wanted to apologize anyways. And I'm going to continue on up because we do need to at least get eyes up over the ridge line. I want to see what is coming up here, because we've seen the T-34, but he didn't appear to be headed up this way, at least anytime soon, because he backed off and went behind the boulder. And see, there's still some enemies that are hanging around the lower portion of the hill, but we don't know if anybody has made it past them yet. So I need to poke over and get some eyes and see if I can't spot anybody. Because there's low ground off to the left near the edge of the map that sometimes people can't hide in. But there's the same T-34, I do believe. And there's the Panzer IV-H who's running away. Make sure to secure those 2 kills as fast as I can. Eliminate the guns, because we are losing the south, and I can already see that, so I'm trying to move quickly. There's a Type 64 who is going to be in that typical spot overlooking the water's edge, where there's some shrubs there, which is a very nice, slightly passive spotting position that also allows shots up here. I realize that, so I duck down to where I can get some hard cover between me and him and finish off the T-34. I dove down to the lower part of the hill because, as you can see, I'm working near the edge there. There's enough of a ridge line that keeps the side of your tank mostly covered. And I've obviously gotten too close to the enemy artillery because they are starting to focus on me. So I'll break contact, get away a little bit, and then I'll poke up over to the edge behind the shrubs here. And sure enough, there is the Type 64. I'm trying to lead him. He stops, but I had not let it so much that it stopped short. And he is one of the more deadly enemy vehicles overall, because basically he is a turbocharged version of my E8 Sherman. If I can get some more hits on him, more damage I can do, the better. He's just about to get away on one shot. I only needed the one more hit, but he seems to have a clue of what he's doing, so at this point I'm thinking, I hope I don't regret letting him get away. I'm going to get back up in behind some shrubs, because again, I don't want to expose myself if I don't have to. I see the peasy T-25. He's the closer target, and he's still exposed. He probably thought he was in cover, but sneaking a shot into him. At this point, I'm sitting here looking, and now I'm still sitting still because I know that they're just testing with blind shots. I'm not spotted, but I'm sitting here looking at the map and thinking that I need to be making a plan to get back to the base. And T-25 pokes up again, and I'm able to put another hit into him. Because my line of thinking right now is we are actually losing the battle here, even though I've already had what would be considered a pretty good game for a Tier 6. But I'm thinking I need to clear these out here while not losing too many hit points, because I'm going to have to go back to base, because we've lost just about every defender we had down in the south at the water's edge, and just about to get rid of the Panzer there. The Bishop spotted, and I seem to have a boulder halfway in between me and him, but get rid of him. And now of course we are still losing right here. We're losing 8 to 10. Trying to get myself up high enough that I could get a shot in on the ARL. He gets finished off first. And at this point, I was going to take the long road back, going over the hill, but I decided, with the base completely open like it is, I need to take a shortcut. I need to get there as fast as I can, because I noticed all of those last known positions on the enemy team, of everybody who had been spotted, they were all in the lower part of the map. Which means once they've realized that it's cleared out there, they will probably be trying to make a move across. You can see I typed in defend the base there, and sure enough, there's even a Churchill who's made it to our base. So I get in position to where I can take shots at him. Our Turan is doing the spotting here. Just trying to get this Churchill finished off. And unfortunately, another teammate had moved on. I got taken out trying to go to the enemy's base, and the Turan obviously had been spotted as well. He gets taken out, so now it's down to myself and the one artillery. I'm trying to make my way back over there, but I'm seeing him take hits from what looks like about a 75 or 76 millimeter gun. And sure enough, it shows Type 64 took him out. And I know he's going to be down in the trees below. I don't have much of a chance of out-spotting him. Now, you'll notice I have APCR loaded, and I was going to switch it back, but one benefit of APCR is the velocity at which it travels. And that's going to come in handy right here. I had a hit, I think I hit his gun, but then again, I was mentioning that APCR actually travels at a much higher velocity than AP. You can look it up on some websites, but typically, just for example, if your AP shell travels at a muzzle velocity of, say, 750 meters per second, the APCR shell of your same tank may travel at 1,000 meters per second. That extra speed reduces the amount of time between your shell leaving your barrel and hitting the target. Makes it to where you can get away with leading them less. So a little bit more margin for error. And I see this Churchill here on base, and I have the hit points to trade. I'm just going to get rid of him, because I know I'm most likely going to have that SU-100, who was spotted last killing one of my enemy, or one of my allies over there on the enemy side. I knew he was going to be behind me, so I just did it quick rather than piddling around. And that shell you seen me glance back at was going to be from the SU-100. He has probably traveled across the middle section of the map up there, and he's likely to even be nearly in position to shoot me here. So I've got to get rid of this G1R fast as well. And finish him off. And I'm just going to motor. As you see me turn around, I am still concerned with it possibly getting a shot right from behind me. So I'm just trying to break contact. I have no intention of going and capturing the enemy base, but what I'm thinking here is I'm going to cut across the field, and I'm actually planning to cut all the way across the field, go around and above the water, and then try to come in from behind this SU-100. The E8's more than mobile enough to do it, and I've got more than enough time. And the only thing that would change that is if he actually starts to capture, and then I'll have to get in there closer, which is exactly what happened. Now that doesn't completely ruin my plan. I just can't take the long way around. Instead of going all the way up and around the water, which would have gave me a major advantage, because I would have had concealment in the hills above in the trees, as well as there are a number of ridges you can work with the E8 and have line of sight onto the base. But instead of being able to do all of that, I just take the low ground here. Now I'm careful to not get fully into the swamp, which slows you down drastically. I'm traveling in through the shrubs and trees, and also trying not to knock down any of them if I can avoid it, because I believe he's probably going to be aimed over towards where I was last spotted. Or maybe he might be pointing out across the field. So I'm going to try to see if I can't catch him in the side here. I don't spot anything, and I also don't get spotted there. So he doesn't have line of sight on me as well. But all of a sudden I get spotted now. That means he had line of sight there. So I am just going to start backing up slowly. I fully expect he might actually be charging me. And because of that, I decide I'm going to bail down. And now I need to work up from a different direction, because he knows I'm over there. And I'm actually going to try to get up to this boulder. There are shrubs on both sides of it, and if I can get up to it without being spotted before I'm there, I can work from concealment, and I will at least get the opportunity to get the first shot in. He'll have to turn his tank destroyer around. Sure enough, there he is. I get spotted, but I do get the first hit in. Now, that puts him at a possible one-shot kill if I get lucky and get a high damage roll. Or he turns away just slightly and I put one into him, and now I'm able to get around because he missed his shot. And that secured the win there. On to the results. That actually got me my second mark of excellence, an ace tanker. And then on to the bruiser, duelist, fire for effect, and the bigger ones, the pools medal, a defender, a high caliber, and a top gun. And on to the detailed team results here. You can see my 3,310 damage, the 10 kills, and 1,545 experience. And I'll move on to the detailed. Here, there's the medals once more. Going on to the details, I did fire 53 shots, 37 of them hit for 33 penetrations. Also going down, I got 93 base defense points and traveled over 5 kilometers as I run down there. And with all bonuses, I actually earned 11,590 experience with this game. But that is my second time I featured this tank. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll have a few more World of Tanks videos coming up soon.